Hi everyone, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft. Now, I put on my Facebook group, I think yesterday, that I had a really good idea for a video. Now, I have to say first, this was a lady who I know, Alexis. She messaged me a few weeks ago on Facebook and said, I'm not going to mention them, but a certain company had brought out this kind of die storage like thing where you work on your desk. And you know, she just said, do you think you could do one? And we had a little chat and I said, yeah, actually this is a brilliant idea. So this is what it is. This is just a prototype, so it isn't finished. This is just so I knew it would work. So it's basically a folder. It's probably just a bit smaller than A4. It's all made from chipboard. So you open it up and what happens is this bit is kind of like a flap. And then what you will do is it will sit up like a kind of an easel card, if you get what I mean. So what will happen is, just imagine you will have your magnetic sheet on here, a magnetic sheet here, and even if you wanted to, you could also put a magnetic sheet on here or here, wherever you want them. But what will happen is you're sitting working away at your desk, you've got your dies, you can have them all here ready for you to do your projects. Now for me, I use a lot, and you know, I have to prep for Civic stuff, and they end up in the bin, they end up everywhere. You lose them under piles of your papers and whatnot. So this, I think, for me, I love this, and it is a damn sight cheaper than buying it. So this is what it is. I love it. So we're going to make it together. The one we're going to make is the one that I'm going to use. So I just wanted to check it all worked and give you an idea of what it's going to be. So I've got most of the stuff prepared because it is quite, you know, there's quite a lot to it. It's not hard to make though, it's easy. So I've got 2 pieces of chipboard. They measure 8 1/4 by 10 3/4. Right, we're going to start with them. Then I've got a piece for the spine, which is 10 3/4 by 1 inch. Now, what I decided to do was I want to cover because we can't get paper big enough, basically. I want to cover all of mine together like this, just like you would with a mini album. Now, the problem being, I'm lucky that I had some card which is 12 by 24 inches. Now, you can get this from LIMETREE Crafts. I'll put the link below. If not, you could do it by joining 2 pieces together. You could use wallpaper, lining paper. It doesn't really matter because you're going to put your fancy papers on the top. Just like this one. Do you see what I mean? I wanted it all covered together, but with the size of it, you know, unless you've got this size card, you're going to have to use something else or join 2 together. So I can't really measure this either because I haven't got a ruler big enough, but it's obviously enough that it covers my 2 pieces in my spine all together. So what I'm going to do is start peeling the backing, and we're going to get these stuck on. Alright, so that's what I've got now. Now what I'm going to do is just grab some scissors, because I'm going to just trim just a little bit off there. So I've got this, okay, and then we're just going to get just a little score tool, and we're just going to run all along these pieces like this, so that when we fold them, it just helps the card and, you know, kind of stops it from cracking. Okay, so that's the start of our binder there. And then I'm going to start and just lift these up. Alright, now I am gonna cut these little ends off, just leave a little bit. I do actually have a tool for this, and I think I've buried it under the piles of card and stuff I've got out. So got that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these long pieces on first. So you want a good quality tape. I mean, you can use glue as well, or even glue and tape, it doesn't really matter. Right, so that's that bit. This bone folder, make sure that tape is really stuck, and then let's peel the back off, and then we're just going to start to, I'll start from the middle and then just press out like that. Okay, same with the other one. Like that. And then what you can do is then take your bone folder and just gently press in the middle of these a bit. Okay, now press these corners in, but I think, oh damn, I've cut that one a little bit short. Never mind. Just, that's probably why I should have used the little corner tool. This bit I'm going to put two pieces of tape. Because that is what you want to avoid. There's a little gap there now. Oh, and now this one's okay. I haven't cut this one too bad, so you would just push the little corners in. Can you see? If you just push them in like that, which is what I should have done with the other side, but I'd cut it a tad too short. And then when you fold it over, you will have a nice proper professional finish. But it's okay because this is mine and I'm sure it'll be fine. And worst case, I could always make another if I have ruined it. So let's have a look. Take this off. Give that a good press down. So there is our lovely binder cover. Now for the inside, so I've cut this just so it covers all of this. Okay, so that is going to go on there. Now what I do for this bit is I put tape on the board, so I just put it around here like this, and I actually I could just go up in here, and then I also use glue as well, so just to make sure, you know, it's all stuck. And I just put just squiggle that around the edges like that, and then we know we're not going to have bits lifting off. And okay, that's what I do. I'll end back in. Right, so take this now and position this as level and, you know, as even as we can. And just press that down. Okay, now you can see your kind of spine bits there, so if you just kind of follow them down like that, and then what I start to do is just gently start to ease this up. Okay, there we go. That's our folder all done and covered, and now it's just a case of decorating this how we want it. We're now going to move on to the flap that we need for our magnetic sheets. So I'm just going to clean all this tape up and I'll be back. Okay, so let's move on to the flap that we need. What I've took is I've got 2 more pieces of chipboard, but this is a lot thinner. It was just off the back of some papers, actually 12 by 12 papers. I've cut it to 10 1/4 by 8, and I'm going to attach 2 together just to make it a little bit thicker. The one I've used for the outside I thought was just a bit too thick, so I'm gonna glue these 2 together. Now I've got a piece of that same grey card, and it's basically just cut so where I've got a 1-inch frame all around, because this is going to cover it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a bit of tape on the back of this board. Just peel that off. And then I just want to kind of put that in roughly in the middle. Again, I'm going to take this bone folder and I'm going to score all the way around, and then I'm going to also cut the edges, but I'm going to try and not to mess it up this time. Start to fold them up. I mean, this is a really thick card as well. It's probably something like 300 GSM, but I think that's why I love LimeTree Craft so much, because they do really thick quality card the prices are unbelievable. You know, it's really quick delivery, and they do things like this, which is say 12 by 24 inches. Now, I've never seen card that big before. I only bought one pack because I thought, oh, you know, that might come in handy for some larger projects, and it has. You know, it's perfect for stuff like this. I mean, they don't have tons and tons of colours, but you know, it's, you can definitely probably get something that would suit you. So pop that on there. So the little corners this time, they're okay. They're probably a bit too big, but it'll do. Just press them in. I mean, there's a thought as well. You could also do this in fabric. I think it would be really nice in fabric, actually. And then just fold them up as well. Now, I might even have an attempt at a fabric one, because I do think that would look so nice in fabric. Because in a way, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like a tablet cover, you know, for like your tablet or your iPad. It's a very similar design to that, really. So peel these off, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this one. Okay, so that will be the flap where our magnet's going to go. But this bit here, what I wanted to do was, I have got this beautiful paper, and it is going to go over there, and it's going to hide, you know, the blank bits. Now, if we take this back in, so this is going to be the flap here. Now, the magnet is going to go over there and probably cover most of that print. So if you want to just cover it in another piece of card, that's fine. I'm just doing it because I printed them off, I've got them, and I'm going to use them. But it makes us sad to cover that pattern. But what I could do is I could have this on the front with the magnet on, have this on the back, so you've got a pretty pattern to look at when you turn it. So yes, I'm going to do it like that. Now, to join this on, we need a little strip to make a little hinge. This measures 10 1/4 by 1 1/4, and you're going to score it on the short side at, oh, I got the wrong tool, just bear, I can use this one, at 5/8. Now, I've only got my mini scoreboard, so I'm going to have to rotate it and do it again. It never seems to line up, but never mind. So we've got that. Just give that a fold. Now, how this is going to work is, it is going to go just on the very end like that. Okay, you're going to glue this flat bit on there, because that's going to create your flap. Now, here's the thing, I'm going to cover the inside. So I've got, let me see, I've got some pretty papers here again, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to have. Yeah, I think I'm going to have this one on here, but I need to just cut this down to size, so bear with us and I'll be back. Okay, excuse me, I'm back. So I've already cut and glued that one on. Sorry, I'm just having a drink of my coffee. Okay, so the little hinge, I've put the tape on. Now, what I'm going to do is turn this around, and we are going to glue, stick it down like that, so you have that flap there. Now while I'm sticking this, a thing to remember is if you are bothered about the direction of your patterns in your paper, you may want to choose a paper that doesn't have a direction. Now I'll just stick this down and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is, when you get this, it's going to be like this, isn't it? But when you're starting to do your have your dies out, it's going to be like this. Your pattern's going to be that way. It doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, you may want to choose a pattern with no direction. That's, you know, I just think that's worth mentioning. Now, this is our flap, which is going to go on the top like that. So peel the tape from here, and then you want to take your time and get this lined up. So just on there, like so. Then when you open it up, you can see it's all nice and neat inside, and that's your extra flap. So what I'm going to do is turn this over, and then I'm going to have that nice piece of paper on here. It will hide all these little bits, and it's just something nice to look at when it flaps over. So you can see now, and then the magnet will go on here. And obviously, like I said, it's like an easel, which it's just so cool, isn't it? I love this, love it. So we've got that. Now we'll do the magnets last. So this bit here, when this lifts up, I've worked out how much space we can have here. So what I've done is I've cut a piece of card which is 2 7/8 by 10 3/8. Now that's going to go there. Then on the top of that we should have a piece of paper that I've cut ready. No, it's not here. Where's my piece of paper? No, I'm telling a lie. It's because I was just going to put card on the top and have this little white bit as a border. So I'm going to have to cut this because I don't know where the piece is that I'd already cut. And then this will go on here. And then our magnet on the top. Which, what this is creating in effect is like the stopper for the easel. Okay, just like that. Now if you want to lift yours up a bit more with foam tape or something, you can. So I've got a magnet. Now that's not the right size. Is it this one here? Yeah, this one. So I've got the magnet, which is then going to go just on like that. So that's a piece of magnet. You could have little you could store your little sentiment dies when you're working away or whatever. On I'll show you them. I mean obviously I go through quite a lot of these because I get a lot of dies from Sizzix. Where are they? I get these, they're really good. You get like a pack of 10. I'll put the link for them. I go through quite a lot of them actually. So anyway, that is our little stopper there. Now if you want to add some fancy paper there, which I might, you can. So we need our magnet for here, and I could have cut this a bit bigger actually, but that'll do. I think it's because what I'd done is I'd cut it wrong in the first place, and I thought, oh, I don't really want to waste it, because you know we don't want to waste magnets, but I'm just going to use it because I think it'll be okay. So tape on. Right, so I'm back. So what I did is I decided to put a piece in there because I just thought it would look nicer. So as I said, if you want to add any more magnets you can, or you could maybe even put little pockets in if you want to, you know, put random bits and bobs in there, but that's what it is now, and then it will sit up like that, which I think is pretty amazing. So, and another good thing is when you close it, if you listen, you don't need any of the closure, because them two magnets there then clip together and they keep it closed. So that was by accident, but that's that's another good thing. So what I want to do for the front is I've got another couple of pieces of that pretty paper, and I've put them in a matte pouch, back to back like that, and I'm going to put them through the laminate, because then I thought if, you know, it's on your desk, it's going to be more protected, isn't it? So I'm just going to get this, I've already got it on, and then I'll just put these through and I'll be back. Okay, so I've done both of them, and I know they probably don't even look like they're laminated, but they are, because it's the matte pouches, and then the back is still paper, so it's not going to interfere with gluing it or sticking it on or anything. And I thought just to make it look a bit nicer is I've cut some white card, and then I'm going to have the paper over the top just to have like a little frame, like a little border. And as I said, it won't interfere because it's still paper on the back, but then it's protected if anything did get spilled on it or whatever. You've got that extra, like, you know, protection. So I'll quickly stick these down. So I think I've cut that a bit iffy, but it's okay. So there we go, and it's really heavy as well, heavy and sturdy, because you've got all that chipboard, and as I said, it even keeps itself closed. So you've got your magnets there, you can put more in there, or pockets or whatever, and then it sits up on your desk and you can have all of your little dies in. I'm so proud of this. I think it's pretty amazing. So obviously if I'm, whoopsie, you know, working away and I know that I need to make stuff with these and I want them all in one place while I'm working, I can just pick them off there, and they're not going to get lost, misplaced, and then even if I know I have stuff to do with them the next day, I can just keep them in there. How cool is that? So I really hope you like it. I hope you'll try it. I definitely will be using this because, as I've said before, I work with, obviously, you know, dies a lot, and sometimes they just get put on the desk like that and then they end up lost. The amount of little ones I've lost, and hopefully this will prevent that. So I'll put as many links for what I've used as I can, including these papers, because I know people will ask. These were from Etsy, and the detail in these papers is unbelievable. All of them are. And also the paper that I use to print it on, I always use the same one. It's colour copy I get from Amazon, and it's so nice. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, take care, and bye for now.